If you're wondering why you should listen to me, it's because my arms used to look like this, and now they look like this. So I probably know what I'm talking about. So watch the rest of the video, and maybe you learn something. Right, so you want to grow your arms, maybe as a teenager or as an adult, whatever. You want to grow your arms. Specifically your arms. We're not talking about any part of the other body, we're talking about your arms. So you need to understand the components of your arms first before we even move on to how to grow them. So you know these, your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, then you can go into your forearms if you want to. So in general, right, you want to grow your triceps to the maximum first. Well, you can't really go to the maximum, but you want to grow your triceps and focus on your triceps more if you want your arms to look big, right? You want them to look big. It's not about looking lean, you want them to look big. And the way that you get them to look big is focusing on your triceps. Your triceps take up 70% of your arm. 70%, that's a big number. So, and your biceps are about the other 30%. So focus on your triceps. Now we have to understand there's 3 parts of the tricep. It's like the lateral head, the medial head. You don't care about this shit, you just want big arms. And essentially, focusing on the tricep, which is on like pushing movements, pushing down, right? Or over the head, pushing over your head movements. Focusing on those 2 movements can really help you grow your triceps. That can cause that mass. This is like the most caveman explanation I can give you for anything when it comes to growing your arms. So then the next thing that you have is your biceps. Not your triceps, your biceps. Now, as you can see, it's got trend. Tri means there's 3 parts of the muscle, bi means there's 2 parts of the muscle. So you want to focus on both the parts, right? If you're looking for width in the bicep from the front, just simple width, then you want to do your hammer curls, which means that you don't twist, you don't do a twisting moment, and that's going to do the width. Now if you want the peak, then you do the regular bicep curl where you're turning your pinky inwards. If you focus on your pinky turning inwards, here you go. You got the short head of the bicep. The long head is what makes it width. That's quick explanation for your biceps. I'll explain like consistency a bit. I'll explain consistency in a bit right after in a second. So then you want to go into your shoulders. Your shoulders, right, there, you want them big. You want the massive part. You want your shoulders to look massive. So you have to focus on your front delts and side delts a lot more, but you also don't want to forget your rear delts. So there's 3 parts to your shoulder. Your front delt, the way that I like to grow these, and I know a lot of people might disagree, like, oh, you want to go light and you want to go, like, you know, control all the way down and push up. No, I disagree. When it comes to the front delt, I want you to go heavy. You want to focus on getting the weight up, right? But you don't want to like do half reps and start fucking, you know, that kind of shit. No. You want to go down to like 90 degrees. So say it's up here, I'm bringing it down like there. If you bring it there and push up, fine. I can't really, you know, show you because this is like, I'm just too. But essentially you want to focus heavy, and that will really grow your shoulders, your front delts. Now side delts, this is where you want the control. This is where you want the lighter weights. So essentially you're going all the way up as far as you can with the weight, and then slowly control it all the way down. Then up and then down. That's how you grow the sides. You really want to focus and keep that tension on your shoulder the entire time. Now you don't want to forget the rear delts. Rear delts, that's like the back here, and it's connected to your back. But you want to focus on your rear delts, because if you don't, then you look like some of the people who, you know, who look like they have half a fucking shoulder and it looks really weird. You want that full capped shoulder, and you need to do your rear delt flies in order to grow them. So that's like a quick rundown of the muscles that you need to train. So how are you training them? Let's go back to biceps for it. It's, god damn. Yeah, that scared me. That bird went. So you wanna focus on the muscle of the bicep, obviously, like the fuck. But you don't want to lose tension. And the way that you do that is genuinely try concentrate on the tension that you have with the when you're doing the curl. Focus on that tension and simply hold the tension as long as you can, and then pull it back up. I was really confused when I was younger when I was looking at it was like, oh, control for 3 seconds, or like pull it up and hold for like 2 seconds, control down for 3 seconds. There's no time limit on these. Okay, you want to pull the weight up, obviously, with your bicep. And there's a mistake that people do as well, where if they pull the weight up, they'll bring their elbows forward to try and bring the entire thing up. But then at that point, you're using your shoulders. You're not really using your bicep. So keep your elbows behind like the midline of your body when you're doing your reps. That will make sure that the muscle is focused. That's a bit of a side note. So how are you training your biceps? As I said, you want to keep the tension throughout. You don't want to like let the weight go as soon as you go to the top. You want to focus on that bicep, really letting go as soon as you get down, and then you pull it back up. That's how you do a curl. That's how you really train the bicep. Then you do the same thing for your hammer curls. There's obviously other exercises to grow your biceps, but you can start with your regular bicep curls, and eventually you get to like seated bicep curls, or like the cable ones, or even like the easy bar bicep curls. But that's for the later points. This is a really beginner guide on genuinely just how to grow your arms. So we're going to triceps, the bigger part of your arm. You're going to focus on the pushing movements, but you have to make sure at the bottom of the movement you're really squeezing. See, it's the same thing with the biceps as well. You don't want your elbows to go in front of you, because if they go in front of you, then you start using your shoulders again. So you want them to keep behind the midline of your body and really focus on pushing down. And at the bottom, you want to pause. You want to hold that and then control it on the way back up. The tension and the control on the way back up is the thing that really matters. You're trying to keep that tension in the muscle because it's really going to tear those muscle fibers. That's what's going to make it grow. So focus on that tension and then focus on the pause at the end. Because a lot of people just go, rup, 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 burp, burp. That's not how you grow. You have to focus on the tension. And then when you focus on that tension, that's what's going to really burn the muscles and break those muscle fibers. Now for your shoulders, I kind of already explained it. I did explain it. You don't want to forget the forearms, but the thing is with your forearms, they do get trained through bicep movements or through the other movements that you're doing, say on back day. They get trained through that anyways. But if you want to focus on your forearms a bit more because they're lacking, and you're no fab, so you're not going to have your fucking wham right forearm. So you're going to focus on both your forearms. You're going to get a bench, and you're essentially going to sit there, put your forearm over your leg, and then you're going to grab a dumbbell, and you're just going to wrist curl this way, and that's going to train like this part of your forearm. But now if you want to do this part here, you're going to simply turn your arm the other way, lay it over your leg, and then like that, with a weight. And you're just going to rep it out. This is something that you do at the end of your session, and you rep these out until you get like a burn in your forearm and you can't do any more. Then just do those at the end of each session. Now the important thing about growing your arms is consistency. I used to have an arm day. At the moment I don't have one, but I think an arm day is really necessary if you're trying to grow your arms. So have an arm day, a whole day directed towards growing your arms. And then you will see progress. You will see progress in how big your arms look, how lean they look, how the insertions and everything. But you just have to focus on the actual muscle groups that you're trying to train. You can't train them indirectly with push-pull legs. You have to have an arm day. So find something to slot into your schedule where you have an arm day and you focus on genuinely just growing every muscle group. And the final bit is essentially consistency. So when it came to me wanting my biceps to grow, I would end every session push, pull, not legs, but like both my push and pull sessions with bicep curls. Because obviously at the end of a push session, I had a pretty big pump, like chest pump, tricep pump, shoulder pump. And then I do the biceps as well. I do sets of biceps to really get my biceps going. But I don't do them quickly, oh I'm trying to get a pump. I really focus on it. What you realize is that the more that you focus on your reps, the more that you focus on the tension, the more progress you'll see and the better pump you'll actually have when you are at the end of your session. So focus on that tension and that movement, and then you'll see the big progress. And then I guess that's all that there is to really growing your biceps, because then you have to fucking eat as well. But growing your arms, you have to eat, but then everything that I've just said on top of eating, that's what's going to grow your arms. But then when it comes to eating, make sure you eat enough protein, enough calories, because the muscle fibers are tearing, right? I want you to imagine like generally like a piece of paper. This is your muscle, it's teared, it's torn. And the only way to fix up that in a stronger shape, in a bigger shape, is with protein, is with calories. So don't forget to eat your food and eat your calories on top of everything that I've just said. If you do that, I guarantee that you get bigger arms. So do those. Hopefully that's been helpful. Thank you for listening. Go get that shit.